Hello and welcome to Election Focus here on Pan-African Television, your number one television station that is working assiduously to bring you coverage of the upcoming December 7 elections. And there's so many activities happening across the country leading into the elections. And as part of these activities, Pan-African Television has set aside every weekday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. to bring you your election focus here on Pan-African Television. And on Wednesdays, we set out there to go to the communities to engage the people who matter, the people who will queue on December 7th to vote for their parliamentary candidates and for their president as well, the person who will lead Ghana towards the promised land. So we are here in the Ablekuma South Constituency as part of our community engagement for election focus. We're here to speak to the people who matter, the people who queue on December 7th to vote. My name is Makiza Micheline Latifa, and it promises to be an exciting show because we are here at the heart of Choko, a fishing community. So please join us as we embark on this journey that promises to be very exciting and insightful. We'll take a quick break. When we are back, we'll continue with the discussion. Okay, so many thanks for choosing to stay with us. As I said earlier, my name is Makiza Latifa. For the purposes of this discussion, we may be switching between the Ga language and English language as well because we are here in Choko. And when you hear the name Choko, it rings a bell. You know that we are with the custodians of the lands. We are with those who own the Ga land, and we are here with them to have a conversation. So, Ofana Agoe. Agoe. Ofane, just as we said, there was a Pan-African Television. For the purposes of show, you feel natural election focus, a Pan-African TV. Wafen wale she fioni election say bashe, and usually we are around to monitor what's happening in the various constituencies. Ni mene wachoni ke wo eshe choko manemi ni wo hu wo kenye ari wale shishi BNA wo member of parliament G honorable Alfred Okoboy Vanda Poeleji Monitashi incumbently. Niwaleake election saying Bahue there's going to be keen competition between Ledi and Cheke, the MPP parliamentary candidates. When we look at the trajectory of this particular constituency, what we do know that between 1996 to 2004, it was predominantly an MPP seat, but when this constituency was split into Ablekuma South and then Ablekuma West from 2012, it became what we will call an NDC stronghold. We are going into elections, so it promises to be exciting. We are going to find out what they are going to do, what their choice is going to be. Let me run you by briefly some of the member of parliaments that have led this particular constituency to serve in their interest. We had Theresa Amele Tego from 1996. She won again in 2000 and then again in 2004. Let me remind you that this electoral area actually constitutes or includes Kole Gono. It also has Kolebu, we have Choko, we have Mamprobi, and then there is new Mamprobi before it was split into two constituencies in 2012. That is Ablekuma South, which we are here currently, and then Ablekuma West. So we can say that based on its voter trajectory or its voting pattern, it is moved from being what many would term an MPP stronghold to what they would say is now gradually an NDC stronghold because of the way in which they choose their leaders. But a lot of constituencies or people are complaining that they haven't had, improvements or developments, even rotating between the two candidates. So today we'll hear from they themselves. They are the constituents. They are the ones who live here, and they are the ones who are at the mercy of any decisions that they are going to take on December 7th. So just as I said earlier, this is Pan-African Television's community engagement on your election focus. My name is Makiza Latifa. Let's set the ball rolling. As you can see, I've got a lot of people around me. These are the people who actually live here. And as I said, this is a community that is considered a fishing hub. Fishmongering is the trade that is very predominant over here. Most of the people that we see here are people who are either fishers, fishmongers, fisher folks in general, or in its entirety. E wa ofane hani nke conversation e ababiye ekon ofane me na keshi mene Wednesday for the purposes of show any of fear in lena kind pepe peshi wobani channel. He was usually she kwama expect ya ke she ni mbote be mana ke she beke be at school can be because that's the norm school wait bele mo fia mo ye school she ni mbote mini in ke parents say career in be ameka ofan me na woni mene school day ni beke be a thing ye shia ne ke ameka me ake she oh school well esani beke be ya shika echosani kate she abaka ke she free education she is it really free e wo mbani mabinya ke she me na woni nyenye mi ma bibi mi shko esani ameye school we mene amebe school ni P1 nani amehie bi e wo fa na mo mining kala boy
ofana atomi ale saite kui ofana nje choko iyawo she inte school ka she in secondary school na papa yawo no mumi yawo je no to aka she ke moko yawo e ehwe ya she education person yimi wo we a bia ne government efitele ka am ba yu am aka wo we a won so light je light chi China wule ehe light e wodi am light ehe wo wodi eji aka o kwe am nutumo no ni ji sani amekakaba amekeba bia so ne wo we a nutumo ni am fitefe first year ayeloni ka amame wole katon na me ke ba hia bona shi bia ntone ame wolo fin lo katon wo ke am abo wo ko abo bia me chola amoni wo chola amoni no jino ni am wo ke ba hia ke je amoni pe wo ke lo strot ba kan kama antebo ba lo fin lo nu wole ni akaba shi blema ko ame wo kan kama agbui no ji katon no ame ke ba shi bia na ame wo amoni buepo ame wo la katon neke maja lo fe se ka be na ame ngoi shi bia na me wo lo fe lo katon amoni po ame wo le katon no ame fite wo ya nu tumo ye bie ka government ba yu amake ache waters wo mambi ni wo tu ni ye ma ni wo mambi ni sa ni wo tu ni ye ma ni ma hwele mo aba no a lo China bi ke ba na ache ametas ye no hiwo ni wo agbla wo mi no ni sa ni ko o ahon lu ni sa no ho le tensidie bia ne ko aye China jo ho le 20 ni ye ba ka wo no ni je ice mi wo lo bon abashi ona no lo bon abashi na ma me China no we na me susu wo ka wo fo lo adeka ko be e chief ama me lo we na me lo be fresh sha me lo bon jala wa fi wo lo we ene me fe government na e ja ka taflache ame ke shika ka ni ble ni eko efite wo no tumu ona amen fitani e je mene jibeni oba na shi wo bia inoko e ene me fe wo se ko ba to be mako e ba fe be ko e ba fe wo blind bia ke parliamentary bia ni traje me ba fe because kaji moko ba de ba mo shini e ba vote wo kele ba twata e ja ke ene me fe aka shishiwo a shishiwo ahun mene po premise po bia ne kwa shi bia ntone anako ke premise ba shikobe ja 1 month alo 2 months then we na premise shikobe ke o he shikobe e de po mo ko menye use of yellow for yellow ni ete alo ejwe ke awo shikobe ona shi mene ke e ba shikobe e ba don ko ke te shikobe shi ni na afu obi ntone 7 yomi ko use 7 yo ba use like bi enyu eta nyonko be se okwenu no ayi gun no o ya he ejalawa o ken ya kengbenu no te no na omonyumo ene me fe amena no ni amba yue amba ka yo ochi ka me ken ba ame ka wa shiko be shi enyo e ka meti wonta wona na me na me le ake ka ke choko je me ne fe ko je education ko ke je education e we bi e we ya school the flat obi ya school bia ne ka ko ake the best student ye na ake at the best student say p choko p 2002 best student ana choko shi no ni sani government afia we fe no ni sana do mushina afia wa fe e ja ke ame ha woyin o na aka onukpane na aka ni na ya leja shika ewo ani ewo eke akashike e cover yin wo fe won shi eyin bo wiemu o wiemu she eko neke stations ne no me ka member ni won yue wo fo won yue mo fe mo na le aka neke mo jan yue mo ne won yue da agbin e mba na aka shi no wo yue obe ni ko ni yin awo ababa mene ka vote ababa aka vote ko an bo 1 million ke t-shirt je no water wo you take be school na me ta nu tumo ame hey ame mino ame bi ke wo ke ame ka me bi ete ablochi ame hey ame nyema bi no police soldier wo bi onye ne ko le mo ko ba gbe school na como o ko le ta flache mbe no ko so fa hu ko bi a o te university gbe school na e ba ta she ehia e ke nko le ma ke bofta na ya wo ona no bi a na fe to mo oblan bi ani ba ka o fe yin onye nu tumo ni aka wo ya nu tumo kenye bi nu fi o e ke ba wo ya me ja ke kwa bila te school de gbe na e na no ko e ke se na mo ba e fe follow no ene me fe am shishi wo won ta na me le akashi am me na do MP assembly government you take gbe school na me ni gbe school na akama wo tumo me na 60 years ana me ahia mo ko na 60 years e ta office lololo me de je nu tumo shishi e bi aka wo blame ko la aka ko na 60 years o patient ko ni youth ni am wo me ya am tu wo shini wota afite wo ani ble ni bi fe wo won pa fai beke bi am te school secondary school na bi an 1000 tumo ni oblian bi am tuni.
Okay, Ofane Oyiwala Donwa, Orie Ojodba. So basically what he's telling us is that I asked him, why are there so many young people walking around here not in school, because it's actually a working day where students are supposed to be in school. And his concern is basically that whenever these kids go to school, they come out of school, they are unable to get employment. We do know that one of the very worrying challenges here is unemployment. There are a lot of teeming youth who have gone to school, they've come out of school, but they are unable to get employment. This is his challenge. He simply says that duty bearers must be held accountable. They put their kids in the best of schools, but what happens to the working class people of Ghana? So these are his concerns. We pass the microphone on to another person to find out from him. Ofane bonhu boni area ofane ke bonhu oke no ko ba fata ya lo oye another thing no ba smoni oke wo area ba ngo wona wa.
So, yo, if kafla, benin bla yue, shini. Waya wena kano shi, wakanwo, wabia jimu nyumu. Nona ba mwene ekola kaje no shiwa egbe wakano fitai. Biane lele nige fit ole se yumo ne yo. Lele amengba wona ya show me. Anukwale amengbawo na yen show me because first code ko bi ona lo jeto petrol buas ko 20 Ghana pondo ba station no ababo petrol abi an no ogbelo oba menelele negative ka wata wo MPC on vote wo amene no amefefe nege ship jini ajula wata fe manem. She says, "One mere one, one yanike wone olololo. No, I can mere one. I been and you know, Petro Akayawu. Petro Akayawu. Mene, premise, etota. Obanyo shibi ane noya. Ako bano, abajonya, abajote. Abafenu fiano, lele, one ko, ekoba. Many of what one mene no ne, ambalo, edumoshi. Mene ka ala nige mene ekometo banye lotu mo drum blue for 50 eka weje eke mene na ka ni eba petrol ba na ka ba jan wele meni wo je na jan we won pe geska scott ona eka me lo fin ketu ko te aba won le kalabule afe nige e wa ni mene watone ni wo ka ya wo tone na fi eka fite e ja ke te fe mo ni kwa na yin ife le ke ya ayawo agbelu
Ewo ofane bono ori miniji exactly people here you know ta okwe esani government afe ye because what like be and eko dio keke aba ni menye na mehe wo mini oto ne afi na challenge
yo nuni wa sumo na feji naga wanye mehi ka wanye meye ni wo ame ni mena kana kan gbe na ha me sani amegbe koni amekwaje ojogba ewo akenu ni yo na kan sani efini afa station ye aka ho we a petrol ye sani ka petrol tano akekwa aba eja ke kafla akabani aja anwo free shi won pay no me no won pay ni agbeni ni ba no ni ka ni ba ho kesa ni 55 po ajale adese kometo ba nye lo fe 20 te ba fe te mu kan jese mu maneko.
Okay, boni ori ofa ne hani nke bon aba conversation eja ke mi nu ake shishi ni area fe bon ori yese
no you are no go no you are because it's any ka akeba ne kin da ochi de gon asa akeba no bu ka onye wona le ede po da ne da ochi e okeba ni lole ni yin gbeje no ame petrol short ko da ni wo me no ya wo mo da ne wo efi wo ye wo ya ni ka o aye yellow ko be ne kin 4 million 5 million
e wo bi anejala enye 4 million
bi ane 4 million ke oil fe lo be 5 million ke oil fe 5 million shike aga premise ba ne kin oil dojunu ni gba wo le me wona jogba oti.
Okay, what we premix say Sanihi, yeah, sure I can shishi me who ye other view na mentor na me share ye premix fuel distribution. We do know that this has been one of the major challenges of fishing communities across Ghana. For various communities where the dominant trade is fishing, you find out that there's a lot of challenge with the premix fuel, its cost and distribution as well. Many measures have been implemented by governments to address this challenge, but what we are hearing from the indigents themselves, those who use the premix fuel for their fishing activities, are actually telling us otherwise. So let's take some more views on the premix fuel distribution, and then we'll have other conversations. So Fanye, Obaineni,
never ayo no go me penny on pedi MPC ni o mami ameji me na me lo petrol ga amehia ajam e daga me bia na me fefe ya ajin eku ni no ni sani man bia na amena bia ne ni evetu mo kukuru gendis na kaji be na me fio ni e mam ni onugba ni o mami hu e no go ni sani amena sana ameyu ake o ni kan lo ni kam nya ameyu e daga be na baba e kolege 50 Ghana afem ni akin ale 100 Ghana akin ale keja akin ale man yen po ka tese akban le jin ne bisa me no amelu oni bi e kolege banye me ne galo etin ba ale ka ti abaye fi o ye de e kolege ni kin galo yellow jin ke ni bi ni gbogbo yen ya fi o ne ge kolege e bi ya school e kolege bi ni ya school e pi onoko ne kolege petrol ba na de ba o e de ba na skek ba ko e bi le ge ya school ina ga petrol na tv ba atu ni ne ba na skek de ge ko e bi le chien pise ni skek ya me de ami no wa me sa petrol yin na mi ana no golo wa mi no mi mambi ami no mi yo mambi awi skadi e she vote mo be na ama awo ni ga manch no ana eba nye vote aka nye vote ami kan ma fe niki skadi a vote ami tan bie pa me ba bie ame ba shi wo Ghana ni wo tashin onupa e ni yo ma mi ami no mi yo awi youth na eje no youth na eje no na youth e bia na me nye ma she amiani skaba kunu wo na ko ga fi nuku.
Okay. Bonori, just like you've said, Isania Hani youth who anye amena ni chumoni amechushi ni orie or pinpoint yakeshishi a lot of MPs can be yeni amehodi allegedly. A one mini G solution more intake view on the solution for this particular problem. Meaning you back akeshi Isania feye ni akekweni neke sajine seafu, especially with the premix fuel distribution.
Leniele biane you mo do ba yu ke bere ba ma mi na ka jibe na ma fi mi na ba kwe no agba fi ni bi skadi e ko le hotel so yu ana no ni ba ona engu na wa ganyi ba bi fem no ni gbo na o yu da ke otashin no yu no ko mo ko le no ni gbo na Ekule ke echo me obleje she ko na ke o. Ni ne mi we fin agatu ni. O keji ni ba bia nyike o. Ni ba interview no wo we ni. Anya fe no kwele. On gba fai sani ka shi election be woni wona no ni ba ya no. Election be le am baba ma mi chon. Na go ba you ska gbe na am ba don.
Okay, so he is telling us basically that he wants employment opportunities to be created for the youth, because half of the times these politicians come promising heaven and earth during elections, but after elections, what happens to them? They are left on their own to struggle. This is the story of working class people here in Choco. So we are continuing with our conversations. We'll bring some more people into the conversation of the premixed fuel, and then we'll go ahead. Okay.
Fane benye babi ene engowo na wa lenche eja keshi anukwali choko na ni woyole ni bi pin gbawo na choko woye peace woye assemblymen fen ame mam akwenu ni yanu nukwe kumo manye choko anukwali afo woda wa abu wopu shi won we mam wo boy se won kola keje nukunu woye yake kumo election ye she amemba won ya mese woba vote me she later encore vote me ta me forward a boye menete school agbegbe na atonu tumo she mene kumo fe amutashia instead of ekole immigration alo police no ko eba na sani ani eba man poni me komenu na ya afi naka agba oje ba Ibrahim bibi ba kenchi amese minu okumo ekole bo monote school no gbe na sana ke bo uje because of shika ewo aba push bo afi naka when you got test when you need PM afo woda got an abanya ba gym boys be ba do aba gym aba swish instead of na sana lollipop ni ba lopo afi chocolate ni bi pin gba wona choco fi challenge at the same time we ananu kumo emanye 2 months mo boto ananu nuwe ma we MPs wa assemblymen amena na sana ame teshpo na ame fana ni ye ame forward ona libi pi jino ni gba ona e bi eni MPs e ka mba nu vote ame forward ke fe ko won asan ke mi po an pa ba po akemi ni ya no e mam score vote ame tan NDC o MPP ame enyo fe ame nke yu mi anu kwale NDC mi le nu NDC ba nye fe shi wonya me se fe ni NDC e choko ama wona nu ni ya no jogba e choko ni jimi ke NDC wo mi NDC yo mi ke NDC ake won vote am ama wona nu ni ya no le ke wona nu ni ya no next 4 years e o ka me ya wo vote am do wo yin do
Right.
afo oda e choko won pin ni bi gba wona.
Okay. All right.
No.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we've just heard from him, and he's basically calling on the authorities or members of parliament to listen to the plight or hear the plight of the youth in this constituency. They are basically talking about challenges. They are saying there is serious lack of development in this area. They are unable to afford the basic necessities of life, food, access to potable water, and then there's the challenge that they've mentioned about the premixed fuel. We are going to try and speak to some more people about, especially the women who actually sell the fishes. Mommy, ofane no banele, ofane no bank me fuel. Ni inkebari fuel. Ofane no ke microphone. Ma ofane ni mabibo ofane ohon lowe ko ye biene o shan lo ye biene ofane ke worry about challenges ni yen go through ye biene, especially ake biane wole ake ni bi mi ewa aheni e wo tenye fi o ten
ofane biane no ni gba wona pe jake to we ni bo ese yu petrol enu abaje bi eton abaya apan jama ahe olu e ko joni sa no wole nu na lu sa ni ke ba bo no shan petrol e wa nye babie keke lu ekple ke demi jala insani be na hale keke shika yin fefe basa shola ke petrol ye ne de ke ba bia de ke ba elonye ne shan ababu e ka pe na kutu na ke ba hale no ni je nyowe o cover na po wole lo dugba wo yin so dugba gota ko ni ka bia ne ima afa ne gota e ba wo shiam won pin wa mi yo de denye iya pe mi ba je gota mi akenha wo ochi no no keke gota eji obo ochi no no keke gota eji obo akani wo sumo party e wo wonye no koni wo fe gota ngba wona wa lenche ma kan ka bo chobi enu ana gota ba bia ka tane na shalo a chuni lo aka aje mi ko ye fine because leshe be no kaka ni baba ka voto anye nde shanye se tope kaka de tonyo du na kaka ne genda woshi ni mita chine mi bi oni ta chine wo bi atete school to gba anye ana anu tu nta chine bi atete school ete egbe na e maloto ko ye fine ame na anu tu na mechu o afina wa fo gba ko vote wa bukumukumu e bi ne chantele eto bi ne eto kwa de ko lojo apete she bi e na gota no e ho e ete bye bye.
One abonigata ifi one akeshishi na is a public health emergency problem ni keke hela bibi ni here ni nyemehu ni nye you're very close to it mi na hwaka ashalu keni bi ye ne ye sure akeshishi na sani mi ngbanye na e wo fa na mini ni ji problem ni mini no ba no wieke
mi pa fire ke wo gota no di wo problem ni obi e kembele ni gota na eyi woni water se bi e ya nwe boto wo glamu di na mi ka wo tudi ami fe ye bi e ne ni government na ka ndoko nisana ana tuwe ni wa hawo si afi hawo ni ka ngo bia mi se ni kele be wonye kula ni ka adidoji jagota ni araba somo lo na salo noko ka bonta kuma ko tumi ni o ka mudi pete to na lete yela na gbadu bi baba o keke won pani fai akanye bomode ni hawo isa wo gota ni hawo wo gota no ngba wona ni bi ni yanu sikota ju oti ni ba jaji gota ni hawo ata sminti apa safe ke ya
ke issues na me ba na condition
amenna abaka ya na aba no ni election time ni se me abaka ya ba chumuko ye yawo bana fe ni vote wo han ka wo vote wo ta ka wo gbe na mo ko kwa wo don wo pa ni fa wo kan mo ya ka wo gota peg wo na agba ni sa gota ni awo bi bana fe ka ba na ka wo heche sini gota ni wo heche wo ya che be fe bi gota ku mo bi anu ni bi fa na ka mi na amesa aja ka bana fe ka mo ko mbo won ba slab ko e bayin no asa ko ni ba se bi en ko ni ba onye otu biye ejake epade mfechi eya me ya helaji no ni wo ba na yemi ona wo won pani fa wo kan menye ni gwawo ni wo sa ka wo sa na ehi awo fe ona no di wo problem ni gba wo na wo won pani fa wo kan menye ni gwawo ni ka yo nu pa ahi ka ni ka to nu pa ahi pe amba na ke ni yo da se ni ke ni ngba ba na aka nuni ya no ya bi ene no won pa ni fa ko ni fa ni ha yo ma so no pa de na ba kwa awo
ta fin ogogo mi kan wo fi wo lojin onye ni ka wo sha onye wo shin wo mash ke wo shi wo mash pe o ba ko le gote ogogo mi e gba ke ba bi fin ke ko metem be fite lo fin ke wo awon wo mo hila eke sani baba won pa fa ina ko na ko awo because oni ho le ji wo yi ko o so ke wo feeling neat ko ni mo ni mba ile we na la ke loko ni neat won pa fa ko na ko awo because be ni wo shan le ni ken wa kiya na wa banya shama shipo ni ken no ide wa gbe mi fiti wa wonye wo fe bad wa ho because e shika wo kai wo ba won ko na wo shika wo pa fa wo sumo le na time e wa ko na ko awo nsani communion nyanya ira don.
Residents here, they've raised several concerns, some which have to do with sanitation, some which have to do with the cost of the premixed fuel, and some which largely have to do with employment. So these are challenges that need to be addressed, and they are calling on the members of parliament and government as well to come to their aid. They have actually threatened not to vote if these challenges are not solved. Mami, ofane hamma bi boy biane lower enye ahole ni nomi ehu enye ni biane enye ni
biane first wa yo lo ade ka ko me 500 enye 500 enye chole 50 Ghana wo ka wa here awon ko ni 60 Ghana biane wo hello ade ka ko me 3 million amoni abobi wo hele 3 million wo hele 2 million wo hele 4 million ofane la ye nyo ko ba sha enye bo ko to ahon enye ba na no bi ba yi 1p wa ka wo le me fe 1p wa impa ofane 1p wa won pa ni fa petrol aben hawo no wana petrol na ke awo no wana lo no washa to ano manyaba
o reala do ma o fane yo
na wo ma na show me amoni pay o mi ni a launch elo ma amesa wo na am pa me lu ma na me ho ni show ni machine adwale keja beni keja 8 years ni wana no kono na amoni pe na amoni ehun na won afele kato afia amoni kato won gbo keja 8 years ni monitor no won gbo ma fi bata ne ba ni pe ne ba won bi awon di pe ne ba won pe je ba won wi e ka won wi ni wo bi asele wo bi hikaye fifite wo bi hikaye wi egbewo koteshi na ga afi program ko te wi ye aye follow ye kehi aye follow to fan gboyin wo bi fifite no wo hala e ko akade ba award ne ba wo mommy wonu
ofana oriye problem say ni yo bia na hani woke sanedba alo conversation e aba solution ni o expect ya ke shishe sani onuta ye ni yo je ake hakoni development aba area na mi koni wo bia na amenna nuchumo na aba chu koni mofia mo ya jole ni development aba choko area
brema ko e beni teshi e beni ma iye ba fan ata se no ba ga lo ejepo e wole aya brema kwa ka na wole anyu ana ankrapa nyu ale ankrapa nyu ana ga mena je wole anyu ni sina na wole meka ankrapa fo efe kobe beni wole anyu efe rasta ankrapa nyu efe rasta no na wole anyu na wole anyu eto akwaja wole anyu wo jompa wole anyu eto akwaja no won wo gbo no o ma yin lo efe no ko awo no wo bia na no tumu wo bia fa bia te school fa bia yawo aga no ba na no wo chementu no ka gbini awo school gba no ya o ba yawo no me won lo yen so mi ojogba ka ta si no ba ga lo ejepo lele ka te wo na ba wo ba na ga lo ejepo lele si da fie abaga ba ngansho ni ale ile no na le keje bi ka wa Abidjan ni asa lu efe e ka lo lu efe ase wo woman no na ba ya alo lu efe ye ni ame wu me na ko amoni ehu le won na petrol na ka ba ya won gbo.
Right. Okay. So we've just heard from our mom, who is also very concerned about the situation here at Choco. We are going to bring into the conversation another very vibrant mother of ours who has something to share. Mommy, ofane ni ohoe orie sajimpi wabas money oke waja sanini no mi orio.
Sanendo mi ni tasheng me wakama no mafo. Wopi. Wopi mamila ni weka chonye kekleje ngboni. Ni papa se bi enyoni. Won gbo e papa se bi edwaji mamila ni weda ni wo. Aje no tumo nsie je ne kenkele san lo gbe te waju wo. Na no ndumo gbado na ni je gbeke yo ni obua ke no tumo. Mi pomba na kuku chuno pu aka shishimba na. Ngene bela na kan. Ka se jino kan nyono na kwa na kan lo ka papa kuti o ko ka ngancho. But this summer shakwa can go grab a crumb when 16 years. Benemy at 20 long 1 plus 4.5. When a 10.5 man.
Often okay no me alone.
No me benefit no too much shaka me survive that can match on come to mo. Me at 20 plus long 1 4.2.
Yeah, no fan okay.
Often 10.5.
Often okay.
10.5.
Often okay.
10.5.
Me
1,005. Mine shawa fe. E shafe shanwa fe le okela ke kwanu mwe woni keke woni gbajoma. Won pala fa ku ese le tun. E na o mobo.
O fa na mi na ke shisho here NDC flag. Ni wo ba bi e Mafia mo area no. Hey P any wayana baka keshishi between two options say fair amesoviko.
Go back be mi poka ka clamancy no NDC. Lelo ni mafia. NDC.
Yo fane
Jini kukuru the first ye choko. NDC nobody na no ekpota elega chiamine kapo. NDC.
Wani nye fe mi suspect ake nye fe hu nye he nye yo ake shishi NDC. Alone ye varying view because
Nakato ba cheri ye TikTok ne bobo fro to lele NDC yo. Mi gba fire ya nwo ya jo mi gbo.
No she has also expressed concerns about the cost of the fish. It used to be 400 Ghana cedis and it has skyrocketed all the way to 1,000 Ghana cedis, and these are her concerns. She's saying that they are unable to afford, as I said earlier, the basic or the bare necessities of life, which includes food, water, shelter, and clothing, and all of that as well. Their kids are unable to get job opportunities and so on. We've been joined by a lot more women who are going to be expressing their own views and opinions to us. Let me remind you that this is your election focus here on Pan-African Television. My name is Makiza Latifa. We are currently here at the Ablekuma South Constituency, precisely Choko, which is a fishing community. There's been a lot of concerns that has been raised by the residents and constituents, some of which include development, unemployment, the cost of the premixed fuel, which is making life very unbearable. So let me bring another money to the question. Okay, before that,
Ngbeji atoku no mo pe ni toma weji ake kebe ni yin fane ni na ke wo mangota ni ji Galilee gota agbone kan se bi ene mo nu pa baba o ame ba si go wo gota be de yo na kanu e yo kemi ni mo yin ne bote wo tujian mi ne bote wo tujian mi ka wo sia jian mi isi ane ni mo no kuku ne no what mo ko egbele si na fulu enu mo yin lo gota fin ka we tu mi ai kwale wo fi wo fe chokomi ake wo ba tuno ko fi o wo kajaje gota ni wo fi ake wo tuno wo kajaje gota wo vote an mo ko ake mo ni tanu ase na we fe ake de se voting be ni da na ba la ka wi se na ake e ka bu ma mi e wa si bu fe ko vote ni ka vote an le ni ani ma mi ajaje kun to agebe na wa ke gbeme ko meji wo fa ni wa wo gota won pin aba ko na ajaje wo no wo ba
half of the time se ke worry na kesa jian here we are quick to point fingers at authority say akeshi ameba fi o fa na mi ni won hu ni wo yo choko man na mi won fe about sanitation situation okay gata she ordinarily mi hu e makwa akeshi ekole wo ni wo yo be sa ni won wo back together ni won wo fe no ko about it ke onuta ye
won fe ni ma no ni je won plaka won fe wọ́n fẹ́ ṣáàkẹ́ ní àmọ́ òun pa ní ìsẹ̀nàbà àdùmọ̀ṣì àkẹ́ àwẹ̀ ẹ̀kẹ́ ẹ̀sùkùn mọ̀kòun náà ká vote àlàkẹ́ bí anágbélé sùkùn ẹ̀wà àdùmọ̀ṣì àwẹ̀ bàbá o káàmì tẹ́ wọ́n vote wọn náà kẹ́ champion jí àmẹ́ bàmá ń bọ̀ mọ́ dà kẹ́ àmọ́ wọn bá wọn kò fi o kẹ́sì mi ti 50 bá ṣe kí wọ́n kẹ́jà jẹ́ gọ́ta àbẹ̀ náà fún wọn náà kẹ́ bọ́ọ̀ṣì bàtà náà lẹ́ẹ̀dì mọ̀ ní èfè ní èèyàn ọ̀nyẹ́ ló bá fi hàn wọ́n ìsẹ̀mí kẹ́ wọ́n lè ṣọwọ́ fẹ́ ká vote àbò tọmọbẹ ní bo flow to it as any vote flow che e ba fe yan wo nu ma jo fe
ofane oyirala don kebo hu no ni okeba. Let's continue the conversation with another mother of ours who is sitting right beside
okay. Choko ni wo yo ni o la jo wo ka obi e asuku ti wo ka wo ska he o mama wo ka wo ska sa wo yi wo se e ku ofe o pa e mu ngo wo obi skungbe ni tasi ne be ka bi oji mi itole kan de gbe fin ka wo bi askungbe iyen bi yin papa pla nyon ame tesuku ame gbe na ame fi ame national service ame fi ame no fin no no tumo ni sana ame tu ame na ka me te ka cha ame onu pa ni tra ni tumo na e ka sika ni kan ba yin ko ni ka pe na mba ya na ame sanu tumo dia na ame bi ni ye GSS pa ko na ame gbe na mba tu women who be a gbena na te vat na fe national service na gbeno fe no na wo be anyame na no tumo na sta na me tuo no jo ni bia na me tuo na me ka yoni o won pa fo no pa ni tra ni tumo na aka ma aka si gbani kasi ame ani gbaja Koni wa bi e kame wolu e ba. Ko na aka beke ne sa no hele no. No hele. Omo yemi kan ska o school gba omo yemi. O mi ji school gba ni wu e. O fi oni yo ni ma yu ne.
Pioneer Oyualadon, she's also raising similar conversations about employment. Mommy, conversation. So what she's basically just told us is that she has about 2 kids who she has managed to, out of struggle, put through school. But they've been through school, they've gone through their national service, they've completed their national service, but they are unable to get employment. So these are the challenges here in Choco. Let me bring my mother into the conversation.
Wabi agbe school na me na anu tumo me ko ke ngma loto mba me we han wo wabi atoro nigba ona oji ake de ke sure na nga ne no gba no kula ji titiri nigba ona ja ke se be ni abaya wo da badan lo ke se kan de te da ke na lo we na ka be me ka ngan so e ka lo fe ho ka ke cha ne che me je ko lo fe ho o be ni time minister ni agbele so ka agbele ana lo mo je wo e choko o mo je wo no biale to no biale shibele akambiale wo bi e amena ni ameye
minister ni no ba ke onupa ya menkwebo biane no kumo camera mi no ji otwi mi no
biane onupa no ba ka me jake show na nga afose e jake se beda nga le egbewo what time be ni akena lo e daga time ka nga show o daga time na ka nga show na lo ka nga show pe lo fe hu o beda ba agbele show bele agbele show bele agbele show lo fe ho ete chana jame lo fe obi to ne kada agbele show na lo woye o mo yewo no kwa jam nda show da ngaji e mi o aji e mi awo ene pe my way.
Oyualadon, she's basically saying that they are hungry, they are struggling, they are suffering, and they are unable to survive. So this is one of the challenges here. You're still watching the election focus here on Pan-African television. My name is Makiza Micheline Latifa, and we have promised that through this show, we are going to reach the length and breadth of the 16 regions here in Ghana to present to you the problems, the challenges of the constituents across all of the regions here in Ghana. So let us continue with our conversation. Okay, at this point, I'm going to have to take the microphone to some of them so we have conversation. Fine, I know okay, worry if you. Okay, challenge. I mean, back here is your problem. You be.
Walk by what Temeka when you may fight. You know, walk by me fight. And sure, I'm in Bewa. Shona will be. I'm a Teme Wolo, I'm a Yame, and I can live out to the Bible. Here be from 3, from 3. Wolonang may have 12 million. If Papa, hey, near Tower, what year to I can tell you by any, but on a cascadic, you're the table one Bible. No one be like no na ke in we a etu office dey etu dey ensure na nga ye anga ye time na pa gbele school do me sika ba na ne pa wolu awo bi ye wo pa wo teme ka wonye me wo pa me fai ake amen pin wo bi lu tu wo am ma taje na men gbe wo amen gbe wa ka wo sa wo bi lu tu mo am ko ba pa lu tu mo wo bi wo am e ja ke to wo
o fa na mi no chu
you shan lo
it will be a low shan business because being reaction ni be me.
Oh, and quite more you. Low by no chaperon cost 400 million, polo only show 80 million. Because be an edalewa. Low dalanewa. One year ni walk up in Wafi. New Wabani, Sean and Low Baba, no Bana Jeffio, no one ya catomino. Catomino, I be an Ebianaka long one, 11 million. 11 million ko ba pon e ba nyami to 200,000 ko ga tanya island aka no wo ka ba hia ne ba sha ba sa lo wo che no ko ba hia ba bobo o ba obi ai ko ye da ma ye bo ba ye ko ta flache na ka sika eta o akomo ko lo onyo pe ka police nyo se da ka sika no akwesha ka wo ban ko fa ka bo ya
o fine you e wo minister ni yo chi ni no ba obas money o kwa camera mi no ke onuta ye na menkwebo bia ne no
no ni o ni ko teme kenye ma ke won pa me fai lo keje kama ne shone na bia ne won pa me fai aka me chenu ama wo fi o ni ama ne ba shi fi a wo to first be ni wo yo wa ja ke first ye won lo 1 million won lo wa 3 million bia ne lo wa 3 million 11 million no wo a pe wo ni be le yo ade ka me 3 million na ka no yo 11 million Walk be a walk, Pafayaka. I'm a children, I want to go be a school, but Papa, I can't take up Papa. Kevin, I go be a few onion show, I go best careful.
Ani bi nke bo ho abas rie mom yo bas money o ke waja no kwa
O fane mi tabu faye shigba mi bi ene ni ndumo bi ake mba madumo bi ene ma fe sha yo ani mo gba mi shi mma mi mpin keke mma mi mpin wa denche ketenu homo ni komi ne ka ba ya fe ke ka wo fe ke ba mini tun ke etenu homo ke bashi kaka ne mo ma obafo abelete mi ba du moshi e ke me ne ba du moshi lo tele on ba du moshi oh mami la on yaro ho ye mi ke ni du mo bi e mi ke yo anuma ke ile se ne mi na botene e ka ni mo ko kane wa bia na follow ekani moko kane wabia na follow ene kane shikaye wabia na nana lake nutu moteni sikano ke mami batashe ba yaro yemi ke mami batashe ba yaro yemi minne to kenyo moteba be mami yaro be aba
yo Oyiwaladon. So you've heard how passionately she has just spoken about the situation here. I'm going to go and join these teeming young men, back there to have more conversations about unemployment, and then we'll get to wrap up.
Atago. Na, wole me bi eto. Lele ke be na nga shoni. Wona go ta ni wo ga bato, ni wo bi ba na ego na meyi. Ye ni wo ya agbe ni jemi ejo agbele nso yin wo ya won pi ejin ajo woni mini wona shika ni wo ga ko eto ni wo ga ko bi ni jo awo je yin wa fe otumo anisan ni meneke e ba se lese bi e ni ba ga wo bi otu oni wo bo otu wo yi kwa wo jogba da ni wo bo otu oni
she be o ya keke bo vote e mo conclude ba fe decision e yan bo ne ba aje mo ko ni ekole o small na enye na eke development aba
ni yo na gani she bo ni no yo na gani won pi ni che on won pi je gbege bi ji wo won wo dila won wo ya e to wo ni bo amudi ni sa wo ma am ya wo ni wo na shika ni wo ga du mo she ga ma shi yin odugba twa.
Okay, thank you. All right, don. Okay.
Je no ko ni mba yo mo shi e na o Mr. Oma won ba mi skobe de ani to mo shone je wo wula cheme ejame wula che ka oje kaji won gbe ake ne kinu ko aba shi wula cheme abage ayen 20 million akin mama 20 million ni ba ye ba tan 20 million ba ye ba shi e ko le oboe on bi eko meni tase na mo angame ne yin am dogodogo tumu be jo ga ba me le be bulu di ami ke fe wa wo mu sa ke eju baba aga wa jan wo le ko to kan le sa ko be po ka gbe na o e ko le mo go bi etin eju e ko le bi etin e bi eju o mo sa e ba nye le ka shi won mo tena o enye ka shi won mo tena o shi wo la cheme ameji be na ma do mo shi na be on ke ska jin ke ne bi e tani anya mo show mi na ba jin shi na agme kaji e me age president letter on shi den de ba agme show me ba e ba na wo la cheme dan den de ba ban show ya ga na isi of farm say mo de ban show me de ba mo show farm say ni e ko le e ba nye du ni me ni e ko le 2 weeks time ni de ba e ba farm de ba on efe no ni wo la nyu etuni enapo efe no ni wo la nyu etu na shi asia me bo na ban show e ka abaga ngan show wele ta anya ayapo ni lobi bi ko bi baga ba school.
Okay, Oyiwaladon, thank you very much. So these are, very important concerns that have been raised by the residents of Choko, which is here in the Ablekuma South constituency. And as part of this week's edition, we have also visited other constituencies. Let's take this quick break to get insights from my colleague Irabna Frimpong.
This is still election focus here on Pan-African Television, the only show that furnishes you with happenings within communities ahead of this year's election. My name is Rabna Frimpo, and this is where we make assessments on the living conditions, the vote pattern, and the level of development on the part of political parties who have dominated the political landscape since 1992. Today, we are focusing on 4 constituencies in the Greater Accra region. We are focusing on the Ablekuma North, Okaikwe South, Ablekuma South, and the Dadekotopon constituency here in Accra. Currently, I am at Dadekotopon constituency to engage constituents on their choice, their expectations ahead of this year's election. Boss, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Right, tell us, how has life been?
Oh, I mean, I need my economic freedom. Since I'm a driver, I would like to speak on behalf of all my fellow drivers.
Right.
In fact, things are too expensive, especially spare parts and the fuel issues. Even last week, I went to Abosokan. 3 items I bought was 1,500. So I'm appealing to the president if he can do something for the drivers. And also, secondly, we are also part of the issue because everybody is doing what he likes. I mean, in terms of pricing. So I would like if the government can set up a committee so that the issue will be solved.
Right, so we are gearing towards elections.
Yeah.
What will influence your choice of vote to vote for a particular candidate, and what are your reasons for voting for that particular candidate?
Oh, as for the voting there, your vote is always your secret, and we are all going to vote based on the way things are going. I won't advise anybody to go or not to vote, but as for me, I'll vote for my choice.
Right. So, and you think your choice will make the good choice come December?
Oh yeah, of course. I know the particular party I'll vote for.
I don't know where they see me.
Right. So, I'm a person who wants a right election. Share a braba sitting in moon, Akonyaba 1 2 economic challenges now. Lenya face now. Then never influencing say we voting for a political party.
Oh, to me, the influencing was when you buy some work and buy your washi, we used to buy some work or buy your washi. You see, I know me state like me to be a one but my and because first one you washi, second one you washi, and I have now. On my dad and see now. Mama cannot tell you.
But when we say political parties, and just say you 3 4. Began influencing say, oh, we bet my baby, mommy vote my way, and I say we bet my baby, mommy vote my way.
Oh, to me, the first one, we tell them some dinner can answer no need now, but all bear no Adam no wear them. Or by on DC and I say I had much more.
Voting, so obi ko voting on voting ama political party bi ama na member your mind here obi blame me ohu ana so blame me why.
Oh, so be like in the like proper one there me like me say I say you be see be am fam ho. It was first one year 2 year you wushi, second one year 2 year you wushi. It's even like mistakes and all is here. You be see I say see.
Not just a woman vote.
Yeah, we vote. Yeah.
Who voters ID card?
No, we be out but we vote.
Now person will vote.
Because some will vote first one. No like essence of it. You see any mistakes like no
vote first one. I mean you should try another person.
Another person. No, you see I miss my Marukono. My the voting no me the better way than here any vote. Oh, we are baby and you be an aware and I can send me do way. Oh yeah. Can't see a blood though.
Say you vote now my like you no blame more than no more go.
The right election, person mean bisa. Say like Wakuma told them on the policies and the governance on mine on what is on my roll out. Are you satisfied?
Oh, me say for we are saying the guy say so born modern ya on for one to be so. Say me tell say me hoze. It is a government in the back when I say the obey no me na me nya no. Di bia me say come on me mere ha me what you say we won ma ono no ko talk na government be no so be ba ka say we discover be show butu man say me adwuma ba be show nsa fam ma ko say say we we say no number bo fu say me timi ka say me ba fu me tena me to so na me anga say ma kwa sere no me di abi ba me amunzo no we say me am fam no shim what you say na me ko pe bla na me bo ene me ne na de me say be ko ma no de we de the government no so be bo man ebechia ebe dia dey out na dey need bia nya aja say ndi me mfa me hu compare obi say obi aba obi yesi
Beto aba
oh aba na moto
and then the influence ama what influence you to choose a particular political party
for me adia me first yes na ye kwani etua me ma amata me say ye etua school fees so ko etua school na etua kan say hostel fee plan na still na ko class e ka just say one to mark a class e ma we class be ni obi atimi ko ami me no ko fu bia o meti nya kan scholarship o mo ko so mo sua de say wo school no ko na say wo anya bi pe me depend wo ni pan me tia is ya so bi ka so de me go school me ko because me ma de me boy the school it depend wo ni pan independent teacher independent president
but who say education no mind free but it go also make argument say education system no asset then now
say I say me be so na fa so what I say me tia say me na one class na de na ye chodi bia bom mo de bia bom mo de se penu ba na se ko ye pizza me pass jawa me nya scholarship na se me nya mo bi free penu na me da ko the education ni jina wo ni president so to the nature
yen development of community ni osha community ni development abem and as development in bem
for schools
I mean in general development in general
oh I had the no be say we obi timi akọ different town no we obi timi hu bia obi won ma say MP ba obi si amai government ba obi si amai ba hande hu hu sa ba ko ba bi obi nya fa so free so won
then I'll be threatening them for no anyone gonna phone na yeah jerry towards election
oh there me make a job say obia ni ba bia odi ni ti kwa e be boa nti me ti ase me kwa me kodi ba box me bia me to akọ ni se wa wo he na hu de government ni ba na wa ye na boa wa o kwana akoto mmaba o he na mmoa do ba na be boa no kwana akoto mmaba.
At Choko in the Ablekuma South constituency, residents expressed disappointment with government for failing up to expectation.
What my name? How many years now?
Oh, yeah, my name is Eche. Eche, I go practically 39 years.
Kemomi, living conditions and your economic challenges in your Kemomi, how are you coping with all this?
Conditions near your page. All I got, you know, as a BB, whatever, what call I was more, I am more to school. So pop plants I go back as anything. Was no more now, okay, me a man in family. She, mammy, any mammy, if any mammy, why, I get, oh, now go, Tom will go was an eva, and only Baba could let them. In the bullet, you know, while way, can you do about another, no to my own school, that is Baba.
Well, vote, this your vote.
Oh, my vote because of ma be de monitor no wow. Or attack the money baba no ko ni won na ko
se ni oba ke man bi ani yo bi efen
o ma mi ni yo bi efen de agashi ma FT o be ni wota o ejole ogun awon ni wa ni wona ejole
aso me from Abigail Tenge
who your student who student
Pacho me course from Fatima
Fatima girls right Yankasa, how have you been coping? School to saying.
Oh, school book or by say because some lady a fear near the side there. And I almost say free education by the America say any free sir. You can your my better near the idea and easy. If you cramp one your macron cast a talk land and yet webbing for parents in Yamaka so won't turn your my womb by school. Design your man who nya and why be cover company and the age. If you be here, be school, if you have a fresh year, you have a catch or so, Papa catch or say you need an also one better so. Teachers no omu pesca maybe as I buy na NGO say teachers in NGO by always no e be omu ka say free education we so mu di school fees by nyoma bi mu omu jini ade no esensen e school fees ina e bia aduane sem nso eho ye den na omu say double track e bi mu ko e betina fia e be ko no na ya sanso si echi ni ade e bi o ye nwie syllabus ni na ye ntumi nwie syllabus so me no me ka say me papa no or NDC ni by 2016 for Kufadban or so or the free education ban or to my MPP by because of the cost near mining my ding uton cry and ton ade my papa or wodi akoko by the almost two koko the niaje was so some to beto am so you won never be on my buy ni can or so ba or to me na obi ehun se o aban no ya ade wonya jide bi woni mo san so de beto abama so me go school so the minimum papa say me go school so me need as one say me go school we are many adwuma bia ye project bebre wo kwan so ni ade oban no omo ye mu say omo school so a omo nwie ye edan baby as ye be dan ni ade ni people say bi on kwa be to me ko do bi bed na wo bed da wo nya be bi fan so e betu ma say bi abeko fie bi on ma abeko akwati na fie ni ade no e ha adwama adesua no ya adesua ne cage fanti aban obeba so no hwe na onye school no education ye na school now betina fie ansa na what to asa for university for they almost getting to 10 years now we na we nye adwuma ya it's very bad bad say ubeko school ewie now we say we school me we university o me candidate oh we ya wo nye adwuma ye so aban no obeba no on say school no or the free education aba no obeya madwuma nso abeka ho project bebrebe yesi bank omu si bank bi o baby omu wie ye hospital o baby sa course bia na adwuma e wo ho mi say nti yeso say adwuma beba aman mu a youth no yeso ye de ebenya adwuma aye sa na ewie school yeso ye nya adwuma aye yensa no adwuma omo musu yensa no adwuma si ano obi ekoso so o say iska because kukura adwuma bia ne nanso education eboa ebie adwin mu enyoma bebre na eboa ma yetumi eti nyoma bi ase ewo school.
How many years no come in?
For me, my name is 52 years. Yeah, for me, go in go find the
On not the wala.
He was like he go le find the money, choko money.
So my economic conditions, your living conditions, nye poor.
Oh, DDP, came out manu go, chuchu ye blow yao. She can be an again. O mambi won't be one no good can apply. One no good apply. Oh, sure, my boy.
What are your chances? Like, what will trigger your vote?
Oh, we don't know about you. Any matter now, where your money, I throw money in the she will not go and take Ibahu. She come and tell me a batano. If it will fiano, will be my boat, the end to my boat. Can't get boat to a lemon, my boat. Will you give me fisherman?
Okay, what day? Kenya you are fishing, what the fishing sector, how is it helping you people?
Okay, what the Neo money me in dinner, thinking about me more than 4 times. Solo Gano, Solo Ada, and you will talk about money, you will be right 3,000. You will think where.
Oh, me no back came and be a jacket me come I'm a fair major market. I'm a votee. No back can.
Oh, the flash. Bull penny go Chaki do get when you look away. Came back to Ubaqua any would get any wash it. ke pimu opi ogani ni wona no wadu mo chini ke wa go to
For constituents at Ablekuma North, the area has not benefited immensely from provision of social amenities.
It's very appalling.
Why is it appalling?
Let's move it on better. Assuming at the close of the day, you earn 30 Ghana a day, and your compensation is more than that. How would you explain such an economic situation? Isn't it appalling? It's right uncalled for.
Right, so I want to know, are you going to vote this year?
No.
Why won't you vote?
Because of the experiences I have.
Share your experiences with me. I would love to listen.
Yes. One, I've been voting since 1992, and I am MPP activist. I vote for MPP, I don't vote for any political party. But the last election, I didn't exercise my financial because for the first term of Nana Akufo-Addo as president, I didn't see any improvement of his governance. It was poor governance to me, myself, and his administration. That's why the last 4 years I didn't vote. So this coming general election, I'm going to do the same. I'm not going to vote.
Can't you change government and see if it will?
No, I can't change government. I've been in NDC. I've experienced the administration before. I've experienced MPP administration before. This is going to change. I'm going to vote for any political party, not MPP, not NDC.
Right, so we have other political parties.
If I'm going to vote for any other political party, not MPP, not NDC.
You're saying you're not going to vote?
If I have to.
Right.
Yes.
But I'm saying, if you
can't I change?
You can.
Yes, you ask me.
Yes.
I say if I am going to vote, not MPP, not NDC.
Right, I get it. But I mean, you are saying you are not going to vote.
That's what
understandable. But don't you think that is going to affect the electoral process here?
It's not going to affect. I have my civil right not to exercise my franchise. It's my right. It's my civil right not to exercise my franchise at all.
Right. So
and nothing compel me to exercise my franchise. Not to compel me to vote.
So what if your brothers in this area to decide not to vote?
It's up to them. Everybody's opinion. Opinion are like waters which flow through gutters. When you try to stop them, what they do? They become stagnant. And if you got to become stagnant, they bring mosquitoes and flood and create chaos in the whole system. So how can somebody stop my rights? Says I'm not going to vote anymore.
Right. So lastly, what do you have to say? What is your general overview of what has been happening for the past 8 years?
For the past 8 years, the economic situation has been from bad to worse. Has been from bad to worse, so to speak.
I think the problem I have is number one. Obamba for no more. So I can't say Ablekuma. I was in Ebrepa. Number one got a problem. Now, your members will be an MP. Yeah, no Ablekuma, no MP, Obano, Ordinano, my base, my and so when you find the same back, to be the following in the club now, a do dinner and say, Sana, then a coin here. To me, fret. So, I do it. Then she says, I must be a no can say to me. And one young farmer will be small denomination. But you and say, you go one way. As I say, hey, now you get it too far. Now, this time around, let me say, and you say, be a mechanic political way because me NDC, but I didn't know. So, be a new how the Biania and yet the two name. No, baby, and now at least baby, I mean, my business here now still no. The apostle now, the apostle. me man me mama no mo so amoba so we have to fight for them. And you know, I say here changes. On number one, number two, no so say be obia ni the course work because penny and to me and to na mo fa then na kola one chi the penny na kola no so no ye. It's no to me no there and call you.
Geride isa geriya masu ko masu garin nan ba ko mu wani bane masu garin ya zama kaman yanzu ka duba kai da yaranka cikin gida ba yi zaba ne kana san ko kai da yaranka gida ko matanka guda ne biyu ne yaranka uku ko fudu ke gida ba yi zaba ne amma yanzu ba mu duba wannan sai mu je kaman wani president ne ya kawo masu gari ba haka nan bane don yanzu mun yawa mun yanzu mun yawa don duk kai guda da yanzu ku zama biyu kun je uku za kuma har biyar kana san ka duba kanan ko abinci ma ci ma ne ya ce ana san ko wanda mutum gari muna magana mutum gari nan dai gaskiya gari ya masu amma masu da ya masu nan kuma dai ko ji kaman ba ko ba kawo ba Allah ya kawo wannan duka Allah ya kawo ba wance kaman wanga kawo garin nan dai gaskiya ya masu sakin garin nan dai wani mu yau ba mun doci kamar sai Allah ba mu so ci kawai don maso da ya zo amma da mun doci kamar duba kamar ba IPP da NDC ni akali na wo wannan ba ne maso ya zo kana san ko maso ya zo yanzu ga aka ga maka kamar ba yanzu duba kai da yaran ka gida ma abincin gida kai da kanka yaran ka ma ba ya ce ba yi zaba wo kuka duba mutum guda ya duba duniya duka ka gane ko na maso da gaskiya maso ya zo amma mu yanzu duk ya kaman ba ko da ta indisi ya zo wanga ya so ki MP ya zo wanga ya zo ki wannan duka ni an kare nawo ba wannan duka bane to duniya ne ko nani ba nan ka dai ba
abrabom to say wani me mfa abrabom
abrabom die asusu ase na ya kita ye ho for the past aye de wo ye no sa insesa bia ama se na ye wo mu na sa but adum
na every morning say you share every morning say ya then plan am mutin dey team who say every morning say there you will wait and I say anyway
any day say me kan kwa say bia me do intro because one kasa wo say one kasa wo say for the past making say na wish yes and insistant ba ni say abeye kwan abeye Ablekuma kwan we kopu kwase new asa ba ko nu mu de senate sa hospital ye ni bi ebi na mu ti o mu de abesi yi 8 years ni ye wi bibi ya osisi awa nko akawi ana the rock asa nti wa manage say imagine say adesa na say uyam ana utikura pa na say o e first aid kwa mawa enfa na e be fa ye ni bi wa wo hia so bi ka to say obi ebi wa ha obwa ebi nia nti dada nyina mi ba wo shi ni say ya ye e kwa we ke gates e kwa we nka twem ba gata bu pra obwa ebi nia nti dada nyina me ba wo shi mi say ya ye ekwan we he gates ekwan we nka twem ba gata bu kra obwa ebi nia nti dada nyina me ba wo shi mi say ya ye ekwan we he gates ekwan we nka twem ba gata bu kra ye nim nipa obeye kra na twem ebi ni ahia ekwan we nti ufia na ukosi pa ekwan na si wa ha won nti aha de senate esa gata yo ma yesia aha sensi uto nka ha kwa ntumi gina ha aha nyina yiri because eni gata bia ediko so kwa bebre wo ha join na kwa ko join main road ni nyina wo be ko na pavement we ebu enim nipa obesisi nti na ni nyina akosi wa nti kwa bebre wo ha wo be fa ha jiso dan ho wo ko fa jiso dan ho wo fa basa nti ha pa de bibi ni obi ama ha nti so bi ko gina radio sana bibi so no ka cho say oh me wa ha na maye say wa wish maye say obwa
Who voting?
Me vote pa. Me vote.
Then ebe ma we vote. Then
the time me vote say me Ghana ni. Den I say me kire madwen. Enu nti na me vote but enye say me ko vote because of bibi obi INT. Then me ni bibi nti am kwa vote mo bi say the nti na me ko vote ni but me vote because of me Ghana ni. Na me kwa kire madwen. So what I say? Because in pain for say ko shemla na usu we nyanse ni wankwa kwasiafo mbe shama mi nsu mi pese me kwasia ni ntinu na kwa koto
but unyanu bebre wo hanim se omu se anya don be vote na wo ka tro
emu na meka no wankwa obi beko so wa jaze wankwa na obi beko no eye denya ye di nipa ba ko beba e bia dia wo mpenu na obeba no nti wo su ko kire se na be ya se da chi ye kan wo su beka bi se me tu ko benku me tu ko ndufa ba amoa me no se wa bi se nipa what I say kwasi asisa na dwen ba wo nyanse ni obisa wa dwen nti afi we ye best say adwen.
As contestants intensify the electioneering campaign with vivacity, constituents are also bracing themselves with full participation in the electoral process. See you same time next week as we take you through our communities to engage them on their living conditions and their voting pattern, as well as the level of development from political parties in the political landscape.
Many thanks for choosing to stay with us. You have heard those concerns. Let me remind you that this is your election focus. At this juncture, let me also, take us back to Ladadekotopon constituency, still on Ablekuma South and then Ablekuma North, where my colleague Stanley Kwabla Aku has been focusing on abandoned projects, primarily that has to do with the health sector. He was at the La General Hospital, which was pulled down with promises to refurbish or redevelop it by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Let's take this quick break to see inserts of that particular episode, which focuses on abandoned health project.
Election focus here on Pan-African television. My name is Stanley Oblako. Now, it is that season of decision making, a time to ponder over who becomes Ghana's next crop of leaders. And today on the show, we are here at Ladade Kotopon constituency of the Greater Accra region. The question is one important one, one significant one. Will abandoned projects around you influence your decision come December 7? Originally, demolished in 2020 due to reported structural deficits, the La General Hospital construction is currently undergoing construction. The government decision to raise the building has faced substantial criticism, notably from the minority in parliament. The project was expected to be completed 24 months after His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo cut short for the redevelopment of the hospital on August 10, 2020. But here we are, and the project is still under construction. Now let's get some background of this redevelopment project to be financed by a credit facility from Standard Chartered Bank of the United Kingdom with an e-credit guarantee from China's Sinoja of about 68 million, an insurance cover of 3.8 million euros. But some years on, the project is still under construction. Now, what are the genuine concerns of electorates here at Ladade Kotopon constituency? How is everything? How are you doing?
Great.
Everything is great, right?
Yeah.
We see you serve, some sumptuous meal to, students and some electoral members across the Ladade Kotopon constituency in Accra. But how long have you been doing this? How long have you been here?
20 years.
20 years. Okay. So you should know a lot about the Ladade, the La General Hospital.
Yeah.
We're asking a question today about whether or not this hospital, we had that promise of, the completion of the projects after 24 months, that President cuts off for the construction on August 10. That's 2020.
Yeah.
Now after that, we've not seen the completion of the project. You as an electoral member, what do you make of that? Would that influence your decision come December 7?
In fact, it's very big disappointment in the government, because after that, demolish the hospital 4 years now that they are now doing it, and it makes all works around collapse. I think from December to January, then we normally see that business is
going properly,
going up. Yeah.
We want you, paint a picture to us how it was like when there was the hospital here before the demolition. How was it like?
When the hospital is there, I mean, we are good. We are good to go. Everything is fine. Business is booming. We are having our money. Whatever you want to do, you normally do it. But after that, everything, even before they will demolish the hospital, my daughter gets sick, headache, neck. We went to the hospital, no attention. Then we have to rush her to police, from police to 37. She lost sight.
Oh.
But God grace, the sight is coming back. She is the one doing the uncommon. So I thank God that all the sight has come, remaining small, but we have to change.
Now, you mentioned, the hospital and all of that, but tell me some other things that this hospital has been doing, and because of that, it is going to influence your decision come December 7.
When the hospital is there, when the hospital is there, my business is going. I normally travel to village to buy cassava, make gari, make things, add it to this business. But now, nothing. Only this. Nothing.
Do you have anything to tell some other, electoral members around Ladade Kotopon constituency, people in this constituency? about this project and why you'd want them to make a decision come December 7th. Do you have anything to tell them?
What I want to say,
maybe an admonishment you want to advise them.
Everybody should sit up. Everybody should sit up. Because we've lost many people around the community because of the demolish. So everybody should sit up and I think they have to make their mind. We need a change.
All right. Honorable boss, tell us your name, please.
My name is Samuel Edu.
Where exactly do you reside in Ladade Constituency?
Actually, I reside at Teshi, but normally I came to La to come and do business.
Do business. Tell us a bit about the La General Hospital before 2020. Do people around you, yourself, were you able to access immediate health care?
Sure. I mean, from Teshi to La, it's not far. So normally, people that will seek for health care.
My name is Alan Chamating, the founder and leader of the Movement for Change and the leader of the Alliance for Revolutionary Change. Join me this Thursday and every Thursday at 9 p.m. for an exciting discussion on the Great Transformational Plan. This will give you an insight over 14 episodes about the transformation that is waiting for us in Ghana. This will be with KOD. We promise you an exciting and a fulfilling discussion. See you.
It's also a little bit of a cliche. I mean, we're all used to the James Bond scene, as it were, with all the ambassadors sipping champagne and seeming to do nothing else but dine and sip champagne at receptions. That is not true. That is a misconception of the time and the nature of the work.
Diplomacy is not devoid of accountability.
Everything that matters in Africa matters to Europe as well. Be it demography, be it economy, be it security, be it culture.
Can somebody tell me where Ghana is found in Africa? Is it west? Is it south? Is it north? Is it east Africa? Which one? Any idea? Any idea?
It's like on the west.
It's like, this is what? I don't get.
To the south. It's to the west. To the west.
Okay. South American ambassadors represented.
I'm transforming the UN and making the UN more fit for business for Ghana is the prime objective that I have here.
You are one outstanding journalist, broadcast journalist, who has put diplomatic tourism and, diplomatic relations under one spotlight.
I have been watching diplomatic affairs and I've waited unabatedly for my opportunity to come here as I watched my colleague, the EU, last week.
This is Diplomatic Affairs. My name is Harriet Nati.
She normally comes to the La General Hospital, but now it seems like because they've destroyed the hospital, most of them don't get access to it, and it also disturbs the citizen. Yeah, sure.
Disturbs them.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about your personal self. We are, preparing for that very critical moment
in
our political history.
Sure.
December 7th. this alone, this hospital, will that be some, thing that will influence your decision come December 7th?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Why?
Yeah, because at least since it was there, it was helping us. I get me. It was seriously helping us because now, as it has been demolished, sometimes people that are close to this place, when they need any health care, they have to go to a far place. I get me. They have to go to a far place. But we are hoping that it will be complete very early, so that at least the citizens around too can get immediate access to it. I get it.
Now, those watching you on TV, those people in and around Ladade Kutupom, Teshi, all of those areas, do you have any advice to them considering this project? What advice would you give to them? Maybe an advice or admonishment or something?
Advice? Okay. What I would say to the people of this town is that it's rather unfortunate that this thing has happened.
Okay.
Yeah, the demolition of the hospital has happened. But what I want to tell them is that they should be patient. Yeah, and wait. As the president also said that it will be completed. Let's be hoping and be praying that surely it will be completed early, so that they will get access to it.
What's your name? Adija. How long have you been here? I mean, in this constituency, how long have you been here?
I was born in Ablekuma, so I've been here probably all my life.
The whole of your life?
Yes.
So before 2020, you were there when we had the La General Hospital. It was La Polyclinic, right?
Yes.
How was it like for you, your loved ones, yourself? Have you benefited from accessing immediate health care?
Because from Laboni to this place is like a 5-minute walk. So if it's an emergency and then you cannot go far, you have to come here. Now that the hospital is not here, you have to look for maybe police hospital or 37. So if the hospital was still here, I would have helped a lot of people, women in labor, accidents, because this Laboni main road, a lot of accidents have been happening there. And then there's mostly traffic from that stretch going to Osu.
Okay.
So if they have to bring the person to the polyclinic and then the polyclinic is not there, probably by the time they'll get to police hospital, the person would have been dead or something. So when the hospital was here, it was really helping the people that still around, the taxi drivers, and even the people in the community. It was really helping them. Even though now they moved it inside La, I think this place would have been best because this place is by the road. If something should happen just here, they'll bring the person there instead of taking the person inside La or taking the person to police hospital. So the hospital was really helping.
Now let's look at, after the demolition, government promised that reconstruction and all of the projects, the reconstruction development project that will be done within 24 months. Few years, nothing has been done about it. They are now doing the redevelopment. They've started already. Will that influence your decision with all the implications you just mentioned? Influence the decision come December 7th?
Not really, because if they had started construction immediately, they demolished the thing. They should be getting close to getting finished by now. Like it was like 3-4 years ago. They should almost be done by now. And then they kept long. I'm sure the metal, the cement, and all these things started wasting. So if they had started immediately, they demolished it, it would have helped. And then now that they have started this September, there's a probability that after elections, and then there's a new president, it's going to take about a year or two for them to start everything again. And then by the time they'll be ready to start everything again, what they had already done would have turned something else. Understand? Like the metal would have rusted. It wouldn't even be strong for a hospital again. Because a hospital has to be there for decades before they might refurbish it or something. And then now they are doing this because of election. After election, they are going to stop. And then we'll have to wait for the next president a year or two to start everything all over again. Understand? So I don't think if me I was voting, I won't vote because of the hospital. Even though I want the hospital to be there, I don't think it will help to vote because of the hospital. I have to vote because of what I want to be good in the country. And then this is like this whole community. This is the only hospital that was here.
What would you tell? Is this your first time you're going to vote, or how long have you been voting?
No, I don't vote too. I don't have voters.
Why?
I turned 19 this year.
This year?
When I turned 19, they had already finished voters.
What would you tell people who are in the your age brackets? What admonishments will you give to them? Of course, those that live in Ladade Kotoko Constituency. What admonishments will you give them?
They shouldn't vote for the money that is being given or for the good things that is being given. They should vote for the betterment of the constituency. Because if everything here, if the roads are good, the hospital is good, everything is going to align for us.
So we are still in the Greater Accra region, precisely at Ablekuma South Constituency here in the Greater Accra region. We are asking that very important question on abandoned projects. Now behind me is the Choko Community Clinic, which has been started somewhere in 2014 by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly and the then incumbent government to secure adequate access to health for all inhabitants of Choko and some other areas here in the Ablekuma South Constituency. So we're asking them the question, what do you make of these abandoned projects going into the 2024 elections? What will be your decisions? This is Election Focus on Pan-African Television.
This building has been neglected for a very long time. It was started by the previous administration, but was halted after the change of government. We've been looking forward for the resumption of a project over this years, but no avail. What happens if there's an emergency? We are forced to pick vehicles to far-away communities to access healthcare. So we need the immediate completion of a project to help us attain to our health needs.
We are all residents of this community. We are appealing to authorities to complete this important project so we can access medical care easily. This ask from authorities is not impressive. In fact, we are all pleading for help.
Don't have any government clinic or hospital here. The whole of Choko, we have only about 3 private clinic, and it is being a worry by this community. This project is not only about a clinic. There is library inside. They said they will do a bank because the whole of Choko here, we don't have bank here. So I think we want the government to support us.
Yeah, we go. Chairman, you mean by the money? I told you, you know, it was a dragon. If you're on a ship, no one ever near and you be on a more now. I got a no ni bra na you no ni mo at college to do you man kwa yan Kenya man chaka njomo ye for the same kwa vote you believe vote mo almost 90 almost Russia time you believe vote one Russia poba ona no kuluku Russia poba petrol ona le to mo tashi ne wa tashi go yo kobo o tashi Russia wa ta hotel ko ba sande ona ga mo sa sumo mi e fe ne ba fi to wa to go du ba she hospital dem much no ne no ni bla you na aba fe wa na hospital yemi o ba fe aba na fisherman office yemi ni bi sorte pi ba jemi no no dumu o vote wa MPN ni obi ene she o vote wa na she gwa na power JD they are the MPP sad what na mi bi abi e o fe ba sa oni bla demand you e ko simple e ko tra skan nge bi mo chini nge gwakuta so e bi wo le me abu akuta kwa ni no abu akuta so mi fe di do chini fine mi je go no be so o je show you so we la hebie to monyi o ja wula ka wula abi to monyi so pe abu ya o mo she ko ye police awu mo she ko ye president side ka fa ru ba machine ba na fe to store the machine ni ya ba nguna gbe na e mo fe mo nu ba ya ni me fe ka se ba na vote fele wo e cha no le ba fe ye ko o du che de na vote ba fe je na ka chira ko wo to ko be na abu wo no ka se bia ba wa la ka wo o ba fe ni ke o wa to bi o wa fe ni vote o nya wo ka o bo ni wa fe ka o fe ko ta je una la ko ka ta le ma ro ga se o na le ko ga le wo fa ko bi ka wa ma le o fa o ta ko do wa ka ni vote do
So we are still on the drive of visiting abandoned projects here in the Greater Accra region, and right now we are at the Ablekuma North Constituency, specifically at Adamami, where this project was started somewhere in 2014 according to some inhabitants here, and has been abandoned after the change of government. We asked two questions on what has been the impact of this stalled project and what decisions or what is the state of these projects. Would they have an influence on their decisions come December 7th? This is Pan African Television's Election Focus. My name is Stanley Ablekuma.
About this, abandoned projects, your community clinic.
Yeah.
Since 2014.
Yes.
Or maybe later.
Yeah.
What has been the situation? What have you seen with your eyes?
Okay, early this year, the incoming MP, which is Ekwefri, he's in charge of this project. So he came here. We had a discussion with her, and she promised us that by ending of this June, they will complete this contract. So we were looking forward for them to come and complete, because during those time work was going on. Yeah. You will see the workers here, but yesterday they have more to do. So we knew they will complete this project ending of June. That's what the woman told us, which is the incoming MP Ekwefri. So we were just looking forward for her to come and complete the project for us, because around this area we don't have any government clinic or hospital here, which maybe if in emergency you will run somebody to the hospital for a care. So we're hoping, but I think it's because of the election, because we are in the election year, and I'm sure they still think about this project, and we are also looking forward. But as of now, we've not heard anything from them Since from last time when they came here, when we did the primaries for the selection of the MPs in Parliament, yeah.
Osna Hedo.
Pacho na ahat na etsen.
Hatina no. Assistant and the high but the obey no. And send down cost me.
Yeah.
I dear no so if you are body media we mammy because we are Macacano white jai. I was such as a so
That's fine. Now, you can hospital once definitely almost 30 years. Now, almost 30 years now near an hour.
Near as I was 30 years.
But now, would you say?
Oh, see, the Bahana, yes, a year mile. Be yelling for about to knock on my share. It's a year I was not part of a crack, a white. It's said on the by a
As you see now, project was a Munyan Ray, I check 4 years. Miss Animal in going into election, you got Dien we ebema watu ababi ana dien ebema watu aba
dien ebema watu aba ni say na mana say de ya fenye memu no sen na be ya watu aba ni ni aba ni kutua e na meto na da e bre kan da because so ko to ni ma boye din na enda when ya tuni memu adeche kwa ni ya tuni memu ti ni ama no yentumi takini ama yentumi toni ama ni kura ni pa ni kan da da e brepa
ye da sipan so ni akasa why we made view It has been an insightful and engaging conversation here on Pan-African Television while we ask the questions about whether or not abandoned projects in your constituency will incite or decision come December 7, 2024. We are done on this segment of the show. Next week, we will bring stakeholders and those involved in this project to answer your questions. My name is Stanley Koblaku, and this is Election Focus.
Right, many thanks for choosing to stay with us. This is still your Election Focus. Thank you to my colleague Stanley Kwabla-Aku for bringing us those features on abandoned health projects currently in the Ablekuma South Constituency, Ablekuma North, and also La Dade Kotopon, which features prominently the La General Hospital, which was pulled down by President Akufo-Addo with promises of refurbishing it. This has been your Election Focus. Before I leave you, let me take a final view from one of the residents here, and then we wrap up with today's show.
Minister of Fisheries and I will Mona Wue, J. Woolen, Elaine Show in Nuku. First, I will our Kumsi. Our Kumsi. Yeah. Elewu ya Inuku. Elaine Show in Nuku was any Wuyaona. They can fisheries says, and I can't woolen you. Will Mukunile Wuya Inuku. Shakin are you? Le Mone Batu. Baba ye deputy in Ibi Kume. Je report FN Kunakmali. Na mame le wuya inuku. Ona, was anata munile wuya inuku. Nagbenu to mo gota beni wo mami make one yeme you are in. Oye DC against ye. Ablopa mebo yet Ablekuma South. No ni anya MP, President, one of me no down. Oh, I vote to me Kemba Mafe Neken, Kemba Mafe Neken. Kanya vote me petan. Kegame Kwago Tadi. Kametanaka V8 me can a long cruise again war. Abenaka woman, no what there come here war me. Jame come you. Shimboku. Anu ata ye no ata. No mine wo. Na me bo ma ablo.
Okay, thank you very much. He has also raised some concerns about why, duty bearers neglect them usually. So this has been our community engagement here in the Ablekuma South constituency, precisely Choco. This is not going to be the end of our community engagement. We are going to go and cover the length and breadth of Ghana to bring you updates from all of the various constituencies as part of our election focus here on Pan-African Television. You would not want to miss out on this. Please stay tuned every Monday to Friday from 1 p.m. through to 3 p.m. for election focus, the most authoritative election coverage here on Pan-African Television. My name is Makiza Micheline Latifa, and I have been your host for today's edition. Thank you very kindly for watching. Have a good day.